Winner bracket semi-final number 2. Raiders against Cats, everybody. We're heading to Battlefield of Eternity as our second map. And again, I will repeat it once more. We have a pretty amazing twist for our playoffs and for the finals. And I teased that since the first qualifier. And I told you always, I will tell you just before the playoffs. And the moment has come. If you haven't heard it in any of the other videos yet, here's the twist. For the group stage that comes after the last qualifier, this is the 6th qualifier of the Banshee Cup, it's the final one. So the next phase is a group stage, and then we're heading into the finals. For both of these phases, we have bounties for the teams. So we have a list of bounties. Each team has an individual list. So once a bounty has been completed for a team, they cannot play the same bounty again, but a different team can go for it. And you can only complete 1 bounty per match. So if you're playing again in a best of 3, you can't complete 3 bounties. You can only complete 1 per match. Those are the rules. What are bounties? Bounties are pretty much challenges. So it's very similar to what we sometimes have in Heroes, where you come in and you're, for example, a bounty is win a game playing Butcher. Win a game playing Nova. Win a game with Murky. Stuff like that. Win a game with Twin Blades Varian. Win a game with Abatha, where you play Monstrosity and not Ultimate Evolution. And we have a couple of team bounties as well. Win a game with a triple healer. Win a game with Juice Pirates. Win a game with a full Overwatch combo. Stuff like that. The full list is gonna be put out there once that we're heading into the playoffs, actually. But that's the principle of what we're doing. So now the question is obviously, why would teams do that, right? Like, why would you do it? Reason is simple. For every bounty they complete, they get $50. So they can do it, they don't have to. But it could help them to just like pad their payout a little bit, and it would of course be pretty fun in the context, you know, of teams that might not make it into the top 4 and play for the actual tournament prize money to at least get a bit of a payout. But you have to win with those things. Because if not, you can imagine, teams would just like, you know, throw away a map every now and then, pick a hero and fun around with it, but not even try. So teams can develop a couple of strategies with it, but it's a pretty cool idea, I think. Would be interesting to see what you guys think about it. Always, well, it's always nice to also get some bit different ideas of what bounties could be. Ideas, of course, to keep it simple, not make it too complicated. But yeah, we'll see. This is the first time that we're actually using this concept, and we might use it again in the future and adopt it a bit. But it's potentially gonna get wild. But I think we're gonna be in for quite a bit of fun, and teams will always have to make that choice. Do we really want to do that? No, yes. And of course, there's also the chance that you're trying to go for an Overwatch team, your opponent sees it, and just picks some Overwatch characters for themselves or bans some out, and then you're screwed. And that's totally fine. We just provide the bounties. What they do, that's up to them. So I think it's going to be fun. The playoffs are going to be a blast, and you should definitely watch them. In our game here, again, best of 3 series, winner bracket final. Winner bracket semi-final. We have Lucio. For the Raiders, we got Gavlo on Sylvanas on BOE. Mopsio with Garrosh. Yep, Mopsio is subbing in today. And we get Tychus banned even. Alright. Tychus gets banned. It's kind of wild, honestly. Why would you ban Tychus? I mean, you're playing Diablo, true, but Tychus is not a hero that gets picked lately a lot. And it's not somebody that I would now look at and be like, oh yeah, thank God they banned Tychus. I mean, even when you play Diablo, it's not like Tychus is a hard counter. Yes, the bigger they are, but that's true for every single tank against them, so it's a little bit of a weird one. But time will tell. Either way, we now have the double pick for the Cats. And this is still the first map. So Nano and Sven. What are we gonna get from those two? Also, what is Nano playing? Chromie is up, Hanzo's already banned out. They actually banned it. Greymane and Samuro. Okay, soaking with the Samuro. Which means that we're likely going to get Bladestorm on level 10 again. And the final pick. Alright, let's go. Make it happen. Nano, come on. Is it Chromie? Garrosh into Chromie? Not quite sure. They don't have that much lockdown. If they had anybody that could lock the target down further, I would like it more. But Lucio's not really known to root anybody into place. Urel and Liming. I like that more. Liming plus Urel. Pretty powerful frontline. Didn't go for any kind of Zarya combination with Garrosh. That's more something that the Bobby Cottage fan club would do. But that leaves us with our final pick for the first map, and it is Dracula. So let's see what we're getting. We have Drag here, hesitating, and going for Tracer. Alright guys, looks like a pretty good comp for game number 1. Kinda like it. Battlefield of Eternity. First map in our winner bracket semi-final. Without further ado, let's jump straight into Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 1, on the left in blue, we got the Cats rocking this one. I mean, first of all, we got Mopsio on Garrosh. Also, I'm lying again. We have the Raiders, not the Cats. And we have Gavlo on Sylvanas, Hunter Orc on Lucio, Nano is playing Liming, and Sven is playing Ural. On the right side of the map, now it's a different story. That's where we have the Cats in red with Drakia on Tracer. We got Soaking on Samuro, Deviant on Anduin, Captain Rex on Greymane, and Hirath is playing Diablo. So yeah, they definitely had to shift things around a little bit for this game too. But let's see what they can do to potentially win the first map in this series. Another best of 3, of course. The winner goes into the winner bracket final. And the loser is going to drop down into the lower bracket and will have to try and fight through that in order to go for the grand final, at least potentially. And again, at the end of the day, the teams are still trying to qualify. There's a few teams that generally try to make it into the top 8 so that they are part of the playoffs. But even if you are already in the playoffs, it's always better if you have a higher seeding for the group stage, and it makes it much easier heading into the playoffs themselves. So the teams are incentivized to win a few more games, win a few more points, and then have a better start into the playoffs. And with the bounties that we introduced, as obviously it should be quite a fun. Bounties are going to be pretty epic, so yeah, it's going to be a fun time. Mopsio going a bit deep. Still alive though, they were able to save it. Yeah, with bounties and everything, we have a lot of new stuff happening, but there's even more new stuff. So particularly for the people that are currently watching this on YouTube, a quick reminder that I've actually created a second YouTube channel dedicated to Stormgate, the future of RTS essentially. The game is still in development, but it's going to be absolutely awesome. If you haven't checked it out yet, there is a link to the second YouTube channel in the description that you should take a poke at. We had some cool games already. Hazovs, for example, playing against Fan, which was pretty wild, but even a few more games of people that have been playing Stormgate for much longer. And again, it's going to be an awesome game. We're going to do tournaments for that game as well, and I'm going to cast it too. So if you want to be there right as we're starting all of this with the second channel, with more stuff to come, then you should check the channel out and obviously hit that sub button hard. And talking about subbing, if you haven't subbed to this channel yet, you should do that too. Either way, we got Lightwell and Way of the Blade in. Also level 1 talents. Oh, Diablo. Not cutting it close at all, my friend. That's your level 4 talent. It seems like the blue team is very heavily incentivized to apply pressure right from the beginning and get Gavlo with Sylvanas into a good spot to take him down here. Whoa! And Divils goes down. For a second I was actually worried that Mopsio just killed her. That Mopsio just killed Sylvanas. But they were able to take down Diablo, and they didn't lose anyone, and they did a lot of damage in the middle. So yeah, good for them. And with a lot of damage, I mean one of the towers is already down, the gate is essentially destroyed. I mean, not quite, but you know what I mean. So yeah, they can do a lot here. And I'm a little bit curious. Who's gonna walk away with the first Immortal? If you get Sylvanas with an Immortal paired up on a lane, that can definitely wreck. Or, depending on the situation in the game, you just let the Immortal do its thing, send Sylvanas onto the other side of the map, and do the damage there. That also works. Talking about Immortal damage just generally, Greymane obviously is great whenever he gets on it. Oh, careful. Mopsio body blocked, in trouble, and he goes down. But they killed Diablo too, so Dibbles died now twice already. And, well, with the exchange in tanks, we still have the blue team in the driver's seat here. And they go for an easy halftime show. So, yep, nicely done. Big play. Of course, still the question of what else they can do with this now. Can they, for example, get the entire objective, or is this just where it ends for them? That's the bigger question. Attacks now coming down at the bottom of the map once more. Careful. 2 kills to 1. Level 7 is kicking in next. And while the blue team, while the red team is doing a valiant effort taking the Immortal down, they are still losing out on it. They got it insanely close though. Considering that they lost the halftime show without doing any real damage, this was big. This really minimized the shield and helps them now to defend their fort. Level 7 talents are kicking in, and that makes Li Ming so much more dangerous now with Calamity. But I'm not quite sure how much this Immortal is really going to do. I can't see it doing a whole lot here, to be honest with you. The shield is non-existent as long as they can poke a bit from afar. Well, there's the Sylvanas factor, of course. So that's the one thing. And Garrosh dies. Yeah, that is putting another dent into the aggression of the Raiders. They are getting some damage in, but it's not going to be enough. Bit of a flank play here, but Heroth is already in position to soak damage and make sure that nobody else eats it. So, yeah, this is going to be fine. Lucio! Tracer making a play and taking Lucio down. So that is kill number 3 for the Cats. And honestly, I mean, the objective might have been lost, but Cats not doing too badly here. Next camp is already about to be locked in by them. So they're getting busy there too. Down at the bottom of the map. You still have Tracer poking this. I mean, it's not too bad. If you have Tracer, they have 2 finishers essentially. Greymane can finish the job. Tracer can come in and finish the job pretty easily. So that's what they're looking for most of the time now. Try and get Sylvanas killed, trying to get Lucio killed. I mean, it's obviously the heroes that have the low hit points that are the most attractive right now. But if you get the bullet then later on, and you can harass even the Garrosh a little bit more, poke him down quickly, and then focus Mopsio, bait him in maybe a bit. They're super even in experience though. There's no real advantage for either one of the teams yet. At least nothing crazy. A couple of walls opened up and such things. But as long as they are this close in experience, it doesn't really mean all that much. Once level 10 abilities are ready, then the real combos get unleashed, and then we'll see who can take the upper hand here. Specifically, of course, when we're talking about potential light bomb engagers with Tracer. When we're talking also about Li Ming maybe making some nice wave of force plays. So there's quite a lot that could happen there. And Urel can be so much more aggressive and in your face when she has her Ardent Defender. But they're already fighting for the camp at the bottom. Blue team gets it. Level 10 again, getting close. So is the Immortal already on the map. And guess who's in position for it nearly immediately? It is Greymane. Gets some damage in. Nothing too fancy yet. They have to fall back here. Lightning Breath, obviously the weapon of choice for Diablo, and here come the heroic abilities for the blue team. The Raiders, in this case, with also high 5 for Lucio. There's Light Bomb, as they're going to try and utilize that. Get Light Bomb into the action, but it doesn't quite have the oomph that they're looking for here. Still trying to deal with some Moro too, and as expected, he went Blade Storm. And soaking, and okay, Sylvanas with a perfect Wailing Arrow. Then they get the stun out, and that's not only a kill, it's a double kill, baby. Double kill, and Sylvanas in the perfect position to allow them to take a fort out or at least drop it low. So looking better and better here. That's some nice value that they just got out of this. Have to wait for the minion wave. Diablo is back, he lost the soul stacks. Mopsio was trying to flank in and surprise them. Hasn't quite happened, but they still can do the damage, and they got the fort so low, it is going to fall eventually. So this is now 2 major structures that are incredibly low in HP, thanks to the aggression that we're seeing from the Raiders here. And I like it a lot. This also forces more of a Immortal focus play, I suppose, from the red team. The Cats need to get something done here, and they have Greymane in their midst, so that's an opportunity to go straight up for the Immortal. They are poking it down. Light Bomb, flip against Heroth, and Diablo dies. Dibbles is dead, the chase continues, Anduin falls next, and they're taking the fort apart. Halftime show at least has been won by the Cats, but you can already tell that this is starting to become a bit worrisome. It's a level lead essentially, 6 kills against 3, and if they now on top of it also get the objective too, then the bad news will just continue to rock in here. And talking about the damage numbers for just a second. Oh, Tracer, careful. Tracer! Is that a kill? Oh my god! Nearly! Mopsio, too greedy! Too greedy! But they get him out. I thought he would die. I also thought that Tracer would die, but she didn't. So they got the objective. It's traveling through the top lane now. But yeah, Tracer escaping there was kind of funny. It looked like he could take her down with just 1 hit. It wasn't enough. And then if Lucio wouldn't have helped out, Mopsio would have died 100%. But this should seal the fate of of fort number 2. And once this is gone, it means no fountains anymore on the auxiliary lanes here. Now the attack comes in. Urel already a bit deep. There's the lightning breath. Sven's fine. And they're not even caring about the Immortal anymore. They want Anduin. Yep, and that is a kill. So, bye-bye Anduin. Camp is obviously right there, so why not take it? When you're ahead, just try to get a little bit farther ahead in the game. And that is what they're doing. So, with them pushing once again, objective is, I suppose, soon going to be announced again. They're actually really trying to take control over here, aren't they? So, yeah, going pretty deep on all of that. Nothing too crazy has happened here, but they want the camp. Should be able to get it. They have level 13, so that's one of the reasons why they're absolutely willing to commit to this. And not only do they get the camp, they go for the... Whoa! Anduin with a last-second save. That was nearly a kill. He nearly got it, but not quite. So, good job by Anduin, saving the day for the tank. This could have been a problem. But now they're moving in for even more damage on that top side wall. And guys, I don't know, but they've been the entire time now fully like focused on damage. Just like sieging up, sieging up, sieging up in their face, getting the camp control, making sure that they have more pressure going on the lane, and then just execute behind it, look for a kill. Might lose Mopsio now and finally do, so it is the red team that is trying to break out of that chokehold, and I think now they have a chance to pull that off. Not quite yet, but they are getting a little bit closer. But yeah, it's a bit of a wild game here. It is the show of the Raiders, on the other hand. I mean, you gotta admit that. The Raiders are the one that are running them ragged on the map. Because now, yeah, half a level ahead, the problem is really the structures. If you look at the experience distribution over here, mini experience, passive experience, I mean, nearly negating themselves. Hero experience is a bit of a different story. But for me, the big thing is just really the structures that have been taken out. That's huge. That's big. That's something that is always of a big concern if you are falling too fast behind on what account. So yeah, next attack is already coming. They're looking for the next Immortal. Also camps on the map, which could theoretically start to threaten some of those keeps. So that's another problem that they have to eventually deal with. But there's a chance. There's a chance for the red team to bring it back now. If the red team has an opportunity to not only win a fight, but then also claim the Immortal, then this is of course all going to swing back very quickly. And that's exactly what they need to be looking for now. There's no talent advantage yet, but with half a level, the blue team is dangerously close to getting additional talent. That's a power spike that they are not going to be willing to fight against. Or at least shouldn't. They might be forced into it, but they're not going to be comfortable engaging into that by any means. So yeah, times are tough. And the blue team has all the time in the world. They're just sitting there, they're like, yep, we are going to get level 16, and once we do... What are you doing about it? I mean, contrast this to the previous fights. Before, they were always a bit more active around the Immortal. Right now, they're just defending, and they're waiting for level 16. But to be fair to the Cats, they've done so much damage on the Immortal already that they actually might win the objective here. They might not be able to do a whole lot with it, if they actually take it, because again, 16 is there, but still, that's a bit of a concern. This thing is low. It's really low. Samura is just sitting tight. More damage done by Li Ming as they're moving in. So Sylvanas, yeah, they're still trying to burn it down. And that shield is obviously evaporating. Samura is trying to buy them some time. But as he's getting chased and maybe even killed, likely getting killed, it also means that they're losing the objective. So they kind of stopped the bleeding a bit. This was an important move by the Cats. They got the objective. They essentially made sure that the Raiders cannot get objective plus level 16 and use it against them. That double whammy would have been a bit too much for them to deal with. So now the hope is to take at least one fort out. But I'm not sure if that's realistic. They can get some heroes set up at the top. But yeah, things are a little bit dicey there. So yeah, kind of unlucky. Kind of unfortunate. Alright, the attacks are coming. They're still fine defending this. Not going to be too big of a deal. They're going to be okay. So right now we still got The red team hoping for a fort, but they haven't taken anything out yet. And on the damage numbers, we have 37,000 for Greyman, which isn't too shabby. But we have Li Ming and also Sylvanas both ahead of that. So both are already way ahead of those. 16 versus 17, still at level advantage. And you gotta be careful. If Sylvanas makes it to your wall, you will lose it. So you gotta send some heroes back. Samuro is also trying to just reply, but again, if you're trading forts for keeps, then you are in a shitty spot. So not something that you should be willing to do at any point in time. But Samuro is going to get that top fort, and they're not even getting close to that keep. They can take the wall out, but even that is only falling a little bit. So now that they're trying to go topside in an attempt to chase Samuro down, not sure that's going to happen. He's trying to hearth and is able to get away. Wave of Force saves the fort. By a small margin. But hey, who cares? As long as you save it, it's fine. Means no catapults. So, that's the good news. Double pull now from Anduin with the Glyph of Faith. It's one level. One level that they're currently still behind here. So, yeah. Attack is coming. They're starting to push this a little bit further. Sven, Nano, alright. And they go for the camp. Yeah. That camp is going to be in. Soaking is moving towards the top now. And again, he's a wave clear monster. Bladestorm makes him a wave clear monster. He's behind Greymane, which is kind of funny. But here on the side lane, he's the one consistently trying to make sure that none of these pushes are going for keep and start to take that out. We have, on the other hand, still the objective up on the map, and I believe that now the Raiders are going to try, of course, to lock another one in. And since we are 60 minutes into the game, whoever takes this one is going to be rewarded by picking up a few structures, for sure. So, who's going to take it? That's the big question. Still game number 1 in this best of 3 series, as the Raiders are starting to make their moves. Soaking! Oh, gets hit hard. Samuro is caught and killed. 5 versus 4, and that was, of course, a big piece to the puzzle. Very important piece to the puzzle that has just now been destroyed. And Mopsio's flanking in from the side. They're trying to insta-give him, and they're failing. They can take him down with a lightning breath, but it still forced them into a fight that they didn't want, and they're losing Anduin and Diablo. So, yeah, they were able to take Mopsio out, but again, they were running away. They were trying to escape that battle. They didn't want to fight it, and that flank forced them to take that fight on, and now they lost it. So that means halftime show victory at the least for the Raiders. And a big advantage through that, of course. I mean, Dibbles over Spike immediately. He had his stacks. Emphasis on had. He's a bit of a weak kitten right now. Yeah, a lot of terror on my ass. Not so terrifying at this point. But again, could build those numbers up again. Already trying to push in. As long as Anduin isn't here, there's no healer. There's nobody to top up your hit points. That's always bad news. But at least they have Samuro back up. And it is Greymane. Level 20 talent is also available now for the blue team, so they're going to be super eager to force fights around it. Topside keep, by the way, is going to take damage now. There's a catapult and a massive minion wave. This is actually going to be a lot of damage. Damn. That's way more than I expected. So, yep, that keep is going to suffer. Next catapult is also coming in, and Greymane is dealing with it now. But that's already, what, 25% of the hit points gone? For free? It's not too bad. Boah, and they still have to soak an entire level before they have a chance to get to 20. So, yeah, this one is a serious shield. Nothing crazy, nothing insane. But couple it with a level 20 advantage, and you know that you're in for a rough time. Soaking half a level doesn't really seem like that problematic, but there's not a lot of minion waves that they can rely upon. It's basically only this one at the top that Soaking is already going for. And then one at the bottom of the map that's pushing in together with it. So, yeah. They're gonna get level 20 eventually during this defense, but at least at the beginning they won't have access to it. Samuro is trying to get another wave at the top. He's really trying to get them 2 Storm Talents. He really is trying. And he's getting close, but they have to fight at the bottom of the map already on the keep. Diablo gets flipped, and Hirat makes it out, but he's out of the fight, at least for now. He needs a big heal. Just got one, taps the fountain, has to move away. That all buys time to get the keep destroyed. Topside fort gone, level 20 is in, but the Immortal is marching straight for the core, and this could be lights out. Can they save this? Can they somehow save the game here? Or is the Immortal just going to absolutely wreck them? Soaking is already on the run, and they're actually retreating. No, they get Samuro, and they can re-engage now. Samuro... Oh, Diablo's also dead, isn't he? No, Hellgate, you're out. They want to go in. 60%! Diablo's dead! Yeah, and they're all just getting popped. All of them are getting popped. That's game. 15 kills to 5 and a 1-0 lead for the Raiders against the Cats, everybody. Nicely done. Very well played. GG and well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Raiders in the lead in this winner bracket semi-final. So the Cats lost the first map, and now it's time for the Raiders to see if they can make this a 2-0. Or if the Cats force the third map in the series. So... yeah, Infernal Shrines is our first map, and it's gonna be... could be cool. This was a fairly close game. I mean... I don't know, it felt on the one hand that the Cats were always trailing just a little bit, especially in structures, but generally they were fighting back, they were getting kills. And I think with the different comp on the different map, they definitely have it in them to win a game or even two. So maybe we can see a reverse sweep for them or not. Raiders a bit in the driver's seat on the first map, but it's not like they were absolutely playing and toying with them here. And the obligatory Cho'Gall ban against the Cats. So yeah. As by the way, also a bounty that we're going to have in the game. So yeah, we got a couple, but we'll see. So already we got Cho'Gall banned out, and it should be kind of fun here. I kind of hate that we are always seeing that ban on Cho'Gall. I would absolutely love to see a bit more Cho'Gall action from the Cats. We see him every now and then these days, especially when it comes to map 5 or whatnot. But yeah, if the Cats are willing to bust him out in the second map or so, then it would be kind of cool. Now again, Sergeant Hammer getting the boot over here. Still got lots of majors out there too. And I believe Hanzo is available, was not played last time because they banned him. Nano could play either his Chromie or Hanzo. Can't ban them both. So either they don't ban any of them, but worst case, they ban one, and then you can always first pick, if you wanted to. Instead they're going for Mephisto. Another great ban, obviously, for Infernal Shrines. But that means that we could see that opening here to help Nano get his... Nah, they go for Blaze. Yeah, well, Blaze is amazing as a side laner. In my head, Blaze is just so associated with Quasar right now, it's ridiculous. And also what he says about the hero himself. But yes, Blaze is an amazing side laner, and when he still is available, you should always consider that, so yeah. So, the double picks are coming for the red team. Cats obviously need to bring something to the table right now in order to bring it back. Hanzo, also meaning Nano can't play it, and we got the Janitor. Leoric is in. But if Nano wants to play as Chromie, then I think now is the time to lock her in. Still can play other mages again. We've seen him play his Kel'Thas quite a bit. We get Genji instead. Anduin is out, right? Yeah, Anduin was already played, so we can't see a light bomb with Genji. But it's the brotherly duel once more. Brother against brother. Hanzo against Genji. Genji, all day, every day. Yeah, yeah. I was looking at it for just a second, but nah, definitely Genji. Definitely Genji. Hanzo, the only thing that I want to do when I see Hanzo is just like put a lighter to his beard. Just like see how flammable it is. Every single time I see his portrait, I think he's using so much product that must be insane. Like if you hold a lighter to his like hair or to his beard, that thing just like bursts in flames immediately and burns him. Genji on the other hand, going like full ninja and everything, Cyber Ninja on top of that, that has a pretty cool touch and look to it. So yeah, definitely Genji. Yeah. So Maiev gets banned. And also it's gonna be a little bit annoying to find, like, Hanzo is definitely, he's vegan 100%, and finding anything to do with him is gonna be so difficult. You go to any kind of like coffee shop, bar, restaurant, and he's gonna complain about it. And you just don't want to deal with it. Genji, he's like, I need healing. I was like, okay, that's fine. You can have some healing. And that's it. He's happy. So, way low maintenance compared to Hanzo. That's also why his mother loved him more. Varian and Junkrat. Okay, so this actually changes things a little bit. So, Taunt into Riptire, maybe a Hanzo arrow? Okay. But you want to have a support follow-up on that too. We get Jojo and we get Gul'dan. I like the wave clear, Genji as a finisher. But on the other side, Captain Rax. So what's going to be the hero to lock all of them down? I think Stukov wasn't played yet, right? So Stukov could be the answer. Malfurion is up. Deckard Cain. Another one. Was Stukov played? Or was Anduin against... I'm blanking. I'm really blanking. We get Uther. Okay. So Uther's done. Variant Taunt. Alright, I'm game. Infernal Shrines. Cats are ready. Let's go, everybody. Let's see if they can take out the Raiders or if the blue team walks away with a 2-0 victory. Raiders in the lead against the Cats, starting over on the left with Yavlo on Gul'dan for the wave clear and going full Fel Flame for us. Whereas we got Nano on Genji. We're having Mopsio on Johanna. Sven on Blaze is a really nice frontline. Johanna Blaze is a standard. I mean, this is honestly... Johanna Blaze was always epic. Really strong, really powerful, and that can be difficult to break through. Hunter Orc on Brightwing to round out the draft, and over on the right side we got the Cats with Drakia and Junkrat, Herath on Hanzo, Captain Rex on Uther, Soaking on Leoric, and Deviant is playing Varian. So, bit of poke happening. Let's see how Gavlo can do with his Fel Flame build. There's massive amounts of damage in AoE they can do on shrines and just like in any closed off area when everybody just like stacks up. And this is essentially what we're likely gonna see there. Now I have to admit I like the draft a bit better of the Raiders. I really like what they're running here. I think that you can do a lot of work with what the Cats are currently having in the game, but this can also backfire heavily for you. So they gotta be a bit cautious with this. I mean, I'm curious. Let's see. Maybe we're gonna get game 3 after all. Who knows? Time will tell. For now, we have still a little bit of action here in the middle. Gul'dan is having a fun time. Yeah. I actually love the Fel Flame build. You know what we haven't seen in a while, now that I think about it? The Saki Saki build. Not a lot of Saki Saki Gul'dans just lately, so we didn't really have a lot of drain here. Hunter Orc is pausing the game. Not quite sure if somebody dropped, or if somebody just has some connection problems or anything, but yep, Mopsio currently sitting tight over here. Still very early in the game, but it seems like all of them are fine, so maybe just a couple of the usual sound issues, nothing too crazy, but either way, it's super early in the game, so even if there's some bigger problem, we could always go for a restart here. Generally, I have to say in Heroes of the Storm, it's not really that big of a deal. Most of the time, people are not I mean, again, these guys have been obviously playing a long time against each other, with each other, so usually you don't have a big problem where somebody comes in and says like, oh no, we immediately want to have a free win. I cannot even remember when that happened the last time, now that I'm thinking about it. So usually when it is still early in the game, even if it's a few minutes in, most of them are just like, nah, we're fine, like, don't worry about it, we're going to restart the game. But in this case, it's not needed. So we have them already back to business. And we'll see who locks in kill number 1 here. So, either way, down at the bottom of the map, yeah, the first camp is about to be claimed. Ooh, hello! A kill against Soaking. He's just ghosting around topside. Each team takes a camp. Mopsio was thinking that he could go in quickly enough. That would have been pretty neat. If Leo is just ghosting around and you can come in and just like stop it for a bit, maybe rotate everybody else over and then play the 5-man. They could have stolen that camp away, but no, they're just a smidgen too late to make that work. So yeah, good enough, good enough. They did what they could, but it's a camp for a camp, and the good news for the red team is that they still have this one available, which usually goes to them. So yeah, let's set that up and then see how much farther they can go. But, well, level 4 talents are kicking in, and congratulations, Varian was upgraded. He now has Taunt. So with that, we are going for the first one. Yep. And nope. So the aggression is now coming. It's definitely coming from the red team. They're going to be coming in with taunt, with follow-ups from Uther, stunning things out, a couple of traps on the ground from Junkrat, and then attempting to blow heroes up with what they have here. That means that Jojo has to be also very cautious about how she uses her Iron Skin. Try and see if Varian can be locked out with that a bit, and Brightwing, of course, also needs to really pay attention on all of this. Sven up at the top. They're taking the camp just with the objective, and it's going to be interesting because the objective is spawning at the bottom of the map now. So we have a bot lane objective kicking in, meaning whoever takes down the Shaman camp on the other side, top, will get some structural value. Very likely, at least. That's what we can assume. So let's see if they can do that. And at least initially, it seems like the red team is taking over here. Or at least is trying to. Oh, can they get the hit? Nice. Swing to win. Leo with the AoE. Gets a few stacks together for his team. Nicely done. That's always the cheeky thing when your opponent is starting to get the damage in, but you're moving in and you're just getting every single last hit in the wave. But you have also Gul'dan, and Gul'dan is having a field day in a spot like this. And if they can control the choke point here, then have fun trying to move into the shrine. And it already seems that the red team has given up on that a bit. If they can't kill Gavlo here, and it looks unlikely, then they're going to be suffering. 35 minion stacks to 22. It feels like this is a Punisher for the blue team. Or is it? I mean, they're getting... Yeah, they're insanely close now. This is a frozen Punisher too. Mopsio moves in, grabs it, and they get a double kill. Damn. Not oh, and Uther is dead too. Not only a kill, but they make it a double kill, and they get the Punisher. Triple kill actually. So yeah, nicely done. That's huge. With a frozen Punisher to boot, Hanzo is also in trouble, and with trouble I mean he's dead. 5 kills to 0, and boy oh boy did the Raiders just open this game up wide. Their first Punisher, and they immediately get a fort. Damn. That is not a good start for the Cats. Nope. Not even a little bit. So, yeah, have fun dealing with that. Mopsio at the bottom of the map, still hoping to help them to at least destroy some parts of the wall, or take them down. Taking a little bit lower here. And yep, one tower is gone. The gate is getting attacked here too. Punisher is finally falling, but they're getting the wall and they're getting a tower. Even the second tower is getting super low. Damn, they're opening this entire thing up. So this is kind of wild. This is a massive first Punisher that they got. And they have level 10 now too. And it's more than a level of advantage. Yeah, until level 10 is ready, there's nothing that the Cats can realistically do here. Yeah, the Cats are gonna get a bit murdered. This is looking way too good for the blue team. Camps are gonna be stolen away easily. And then after that, you can try and push for the fort, I suppose. If the objective spawns before the red team gets level 10, which it won't, I think, then you could even lock at least a good start in. But they can go for the middle now, and they definitely shouldn't do. They have the camp. As long as they have a couple of minions, they are horrified, and Varian, he was properly horrified and goes down. So, yeah. They just told him that Anduin is thinking about asking him to move back home and live with him. And that would horrify me too. I mean, damn son. I would just move out. I would run. Just pack your bags, Varian, and just run. It's the only thing that he can do. So, yeah, horrifying news there. Also, fort is out, so that's the second fort that gets destroyed here. And even with that little side move, as Leo was trying to make a play, that didn't work for them. 6 kills to 0, 2 forts destroyed. The passive experience gate alone is starting to get a bit murderous. You know, the longer the game continues without the Cats taking a fort out, the more trouble they're gonna have. Alright, and well... If you're the red team, you really want to fight now. Next objective is still not announced. They can currently just try and look for enough experience to hit level 13. Also, Gul'dan isn't really done with his quest yet, so he's currently sitting at 29. He's going to soon complete it. And that, as a quest reward, gets the radius increase, which is of course super neat when you're fighting on the shrine. Not only do you get more minions with every single hit, but you have a higher chance also to take a few of your opponents down a notch or two. And Gul'dan is pushing the bot lane out as they are going for the top. Gul'dan is just like, well, if everybody's up here, I'm gonna go for your keep. I am not sure if this is really the play to make. Yeah, Soaking is the one heading back here. Gul'dan isn't really overdoing it, but the tower has been destroyed and they've been successfully forced back as the objective is about to spawn. We are going to see who claims victory here, but the problem is still the same. There's a level 13 talent now for them, and this is of course what they were trying to go for in the first place. So they have that talent advantage, and even if 13 isn't that big of a power spike for most heroes, compared to 16 for example, it's still impactful enough that it should worry them. And should make them a bit hesitant. And they're not even willing to engage into it, as it seems. At least right now they're not making a move for it. So, yeah, another Punisher for the Raiders, apparently. Yeah, unless of course they are catching someone. If they can flank in on someone, get a good taunt off or anything along those lines and get a quick kill, then they could change things, but they're now already 20-something minion stacks behind. And even with them attempting to take control right now, yeah, good luck catching up on this. Especially with Blaze and Gul'dan just working all those AoE in. So Johanna's not even here. Johanna's pushed the top lane a little bit, but once she joins the fight, then she also has to Condemn to contribute. Quest is completed for Gul'dan, just perfect timing here for him as well. And they go for Leo, and Soaking is dead. Soaking's gone, Arcane Punisher in the middle. And we're only 9 minutes into the game. So it's tough. It's really tough for the Cats now. Gul'dan is already hoping to open the wall up a little bit. Minion wave gets, of course, destroyed quickly. But yeah, bait over the wall is in just as the gate is about to fall. So yeah, they're gonna break through that. It's super early in the game, so that Punisher is being defeated fairly quickly. The problem is just simply there's no fort anymore. So your keeps are going to take damage, and even if your opponent is not able to take them out, just softening them up is already a big win. But at least to get a kill in on Johanna. Jojo is down. One of the reasons is also that Sven was up at the top and doing more work here. Working on that final fort that they have. Level 16, the next on the line. Also, well met. Uther on 13. Spectral Leech as well. And yeah, Blaze just taking the slow. Yeah, they got 16. And that gives us the Rampant Hellfire. Let it rain, baby. All that Hellfire. Personally, I would like the Rain of Destruction here too. That would be a nice one as well. Go full RNG. But we have now 27,000 damage for Genji. Gul'dan, not really rocking on the hero damage, but if you look at his siege damage for just a second, he is heaps and bounds ahead of anyone else. Even the side laner, Blaze, with only 80,000, and Gul'dan is sitting at 110. So, yeah, you can imagine how those shrines are going to look now that he has this level 16 synergy too. Yeah, they're going to get a lot there. The only two heroes in the game... Actually, the only one that has died so far on the blue team side is Jojo. Everybody else on the red team side has at least died once. Nano is easily jumping out there, not a problem for him. So he's still totally fine. And at the top, they've been working the hit points of the fort down more and more with every single attack. As long as 16 isn't a thing for the Cats, they are gonna be hesitant to engage. They're gonna poke from a distance a bit, try to take those minion waves out to make it much harder for their opponent to move into the fort. But there's, of course, only so much you can do. A bit of long-range poke is always gonna connect. They're not gonna lose it right now, but it's gonna be so softened up that picking off later will be a breeze. Or at least it should be. 7 kills to 1, and look at the gap in experience. Yeah, the XP gap alone is already giving them the stats. Now I have to admit though that the blue team has started to just like play it a bit slower, not that aggressive anymore, and for good reason too. They know that they are currently in the driver's seat, and just pushing too deep doesn't really make too much sense. You know that your opponent's death timers are still insanely low, and that means even if you get a kill, they will be back quickly. Chances that you're going for a core here are rather slim. But just working on your experience lead and prepping that for the late game, that's a totally different story. And that's where we see them now go into the next fight at the top. Oh, the arrow completely missing straight through the middle. As they're looking for Varian. Nice. Divine Shield on Hanzo. Is that going to save him or is going to die anyways? Oh, Leo is dead. And Hanzo makes it. Hanzo makes it. Varian doesn't. And I think the rest of the team is going to be in real trouble as well. Junkrat is already mounted up, so he gets away, I suppose. But they lose the fort and the shrine is now active. They already soften up that wall a bit. I mean, right now, mid lane is open as well. And that means they can go straight in for the keep and leave one hero at the top, which is Blaze, to deal with the objective. So, boah, the Raiders with such a series now. I mean, such a great series from them. They're looking utterly dominant. And unless the Cats really bring this back, somehow it's going to be a 2-0. But I will remind everybody that has been here and has watched all the games what happened to the Bobby Cottage fan club on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Just a little bit of a reminder. So it's not done yet. It is not over until the fat lady sings. And she might have taken a deep breath already, but we're not there yet. We're damn close though. All the forts gone, keep gone, and you have the objective that you can easily now take too. Undeniably, there is a big advantage now that they can play around with. And the red team, they want 20. That's essentially what they want. They want the objective and they want level 20. And what the red team is doing is looking for kills, and they might have found some. Horrify, alright. Don't get too greedy. You don't need to kill anybody just yet. But they're trying to. There's again Varian in the back, and oh, the Divine Shield to save the day. Varian is alive, Genji jumps in, well, he's dead. Uther is dead, Jojo is dead, Carnage! And there's level 20, which gives us Haunt. We have the living weapon. And it's gonna be likely the... Oh my god. Punisher at the top. He took it before he moved in. Look at the bottom of the map on the mini-map. There's another camp coming in. So yeah, they're gonna lose. This is a game. They're losing everything here. Hanzo's the only survivor. He won't be able to do anything by himself. Even if somehow they respawn in time in order to defend their core. What exactly are they gonna do here? There's just nothing to do. You lose every single keep, your opponent still has every single fort standing, which means a massive amount of damage being done by catapults alone. But this is a 2-0 victory here. You gotta give kudos to the Raiders. This was a very dominant performance that we just got from them. So yeah, they're looking great. And this is gonna be it. They chased Hanzo down up at the top. It really mattered. Another keep falls. The core is already dropping a little bit low. Yeah, and that means that the Raiders are moving on to the winner bracket final, where they will face off against the Bratwurst boys. Definitely something we've seen before, and I can't wait to see it again. So let's jump straight into the winners final.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.